Hey guys, Tim here, Big Dog Forge. Welcome back to the shop. It's good to see you. So, feather pattern Damascus, and seem to be having some trouble with it. You know, give me a fire and a hammer and an anvil, and I can do anything with iron, but not. I seem to be having all kinds of trouble with it. So anyway, I'm going to take you along for the ride on this one, and yeah, to show you how it goes, and then you guys can leave me some comments and tell me what you think. But let's get to it, and I'll show you my step-by-step here, and yeah, we'll talk at the other end of this thing and see what you think. All right, guys, here we go. So we have our 15 and 20 on the left, and we have our 1084 on the right. We have 9 pieces of 1084. The 15 and 20, we're going to double it up in the layers. It's a little thinner, and that'll equal the thickness of the 1084 steel. And we have a total of 25 pieces in there between the 1084 and the 15 and 20. Get a handle on this guy and get him into the forge and heat him up. And I noticed my MIG welder was kind of acting up a little bit at that point. It was kind of weird. It was sputtering a little bit. I wasn't sure why. Okay, so this time around, just for fun to see how it would come out, you're going to notice that the borax is a little dark gray. We added about 15% 1084 powdered steel to that, and see if it would act any differently or give us any better result, any different result. So we're forging that particular billet together, and we're going to stretch it out with Floyd, the press. I like forge welding and setting that first weld with the power hammer and then going to the press with it. The forge weld seemed to stick a little better. Okay, we drew this thing out to just a little over a foot, and we're going to just use a hammer and an axe, and we're going to go ahead and hot cut this thing and fold it and weld it, and that'll take us up to 50 layers to begin with. And I got a comment in one of my last videos from Peapoddy One Laws, who does a lot of feather pattern Damascus and different types of Damascus. Really good knife maker. You should check out his channel. He's Peapoddy One. Anyway, he was telling me that a higher layer count is typically better for feather pattern Damascus. So we're going to cut this a couple of times and weld it up again. Now this is where I'm bringing my sides in to create the W's, and I'm bringing those in towards the side of the edge of the steel of that billet. And then what I'll do is get that to the power hammer, and we'll start on the diagonal. We'll start bringing that back to a regular flat billet, and that should give us our first pattern of W shapes, and we'll start cutting and stacking from there. Now I watched a couple of videos, one by HOJ Forge, one by Laws at Peapoddy One, and one by Green Beetle. And Green Beetle had a pretty good explanation as to how this is supposed to be done. There's not a lot of information out there as to exactly how to do this. There we go. We're going to draw this guy out. Now we're going to make him about 16 inches long, and it's about 1.5 inches wide. And we're going to cut that thing into 4 sections and stack it again. So each one of those sections is 50 layers, so that'll give us 200 layers if we stack it 4 times. Don't you just love slow motion stuff? Okay, enough of that. Let's get this done. There we go. Let's get this thing measured out. 4-inch sections, 4 of them. And double check to make sure we're equal. Save as much material as possible, and let's cut this. There we go. Excellent. Get it all stacked up, welded together. That'll be 200 layers back into the forge. This time around, I wanted to just draw the entire thing out with the power hammer, just to make sure those welds were set, and it didn't take that long. And we drew it out again, this time to about 12 inches. And we're going to cut some 3-inch sections and stack them up again. So we're going to do 200 times 4 more sections. So that should get us up to about 800 layers. There we go. And then this is the billet. Once we get it drawn out, or welded together rather, we'll go ahead and get it under the press, and we'll let Floyd split this thing down the middle. And we're splitting it down the middle on the side that would have been the laminations. We turned those into W's and stacked them and spread them out several times. So my little cutter keeps getting caught there, but it didn't stick too badly. I was able to get it out okay. All right, and we're just welding that right back together. And then we'll use Floyd to square everything up, get it as square as we can. And we'll get the ends cut off this thing, and then we'll start upsetting it straight down. And I've got a little weld spot on one side, so I can tell which side that I want to draw out. If you do it in the wrong direction, you're not going to end up with any kind of pattern at all, or something strange. I thought maybe that's what I had done in the beginning, but I double checked all my work as I was going. All right. So this is where I believe the failure comes in. Drawing this thing out, you have to narrow it up, and in narrowing it up, you're pushing the ends of that feather back towards the middle. Now, if there's some way to avoid that, it'd be interesting to know. Or do you just let it sort of pancake out, could end up being, as wide as it is long, and you wouldn't get the length out of it. So it has to be narrowed, and in narrowing it, and I can actually see it as, you can see the pattern under the hot scale, it deforming at that point. So perhaps I need to do something a little differently. Maybe you guys can let me know. Like I said, one of you really smart guys that does this all the time, let me know what's up, and we'll give this an attempt again sometime. All right, and we're going to give it a final flatten with Scrappy the power hammer, and we'll get this thing cleaned up and into some ferric chloride. Give it one last good scrubbing up, nice and clean. We'll leave it to cool on the anvil there. And then off to the grinder. This was a little bit of grinding. It took a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Stuff's a little harder than normal, so we just cut it down here for you. There we go. All right, guys, let's take it for a dip in the old ferric chloride and see how she comes out. We'll head into the office and take a look at this thing. There we go. All right, guys, there you go. So I don't know. So take a look at this. Love the pattern. It's gorgeous. I really do like it. It's kind of reminds me of, I don't know, something. Anyway, but it's not a feather. And you can see the center where we got that center feather pattern thing going, but the sides always get kind of crushed in from the drawing out process. Anyway, it's I don't know. It is what it is. We're going to go ahead and make a knife out of it for Mr. Peterson. We're going to get that off to him. We'll be making that next weekend. This is December 9th and whatever day that is. And that'll be another video coming out real soon. Thanks for sticking with me. Put some comments in the comment section below and let me know what you think I could do to get it right. Because obviously I'm not doing something to get it right. That's it, guys. Take care. Thanks for stopping by Big Dog Forge. Really appreciate it. Thanks to all the patrons. Thanks to all the new subscribers and you long-term subscribers. Really appreciate you guys so very much. And take care. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe, guys. Bye-bye now.